Another great start. You must love this place.
I do. It's nice to come and it'll start the year again. Really, I've just had 6 weeks off and picked the clubs up last Monday and tried to see what I could do. And yeah, I guess the expectations of last year have gone, and it's all about trying to see what we can do for this year.
When you come back here, is it an overwhelmingly positive thing, or do you flash back to what might have been, or what's the?
Oh, it's definitely positive.
Yeah.
Anytime you can sort of be amongst the leaders and contest in your first event of the year is always great fun. And I guess it was no fault of my own, so that's just the way the things go. And it's just nice to come back to 13's Beach and just really enjoy the hospitality down here, and just going to go for a nice coffee and relax now by the beach and put the feet up.
A great way to start, sort of getting among the birdies early on the creek course.
Yeah, well, I birdied the 10th and then it was a bit flat, and then I made a soft, 3-putted 18 and made a soft par on the second. It really just couldn't get any momentum going, and it wasn't until I holed a 50-foot putt on the 4th for birdie, and then made a couple of birdies after that. So it was a little bit soft in the middle, but I just kept patient, and again, with no practice you're going to hit some poor shots, and luckily today the shots that I hit didn't really cost me, but I just wasn't close enough to make lots of birdies. But it's definitely out there today. The course is playing great, and I'm sure there's going to be possibly even maybe a 10 out there. The greens are good in terms of their pace, and all the par 5s seem to be down breeze too. So that gives you an opportunity to make a few softer birdies and then have to be on with your wedges for the rest of the game.
You told us previously that you haven't got forever to go in your career,
yeah.
But you must be nearly in career best form, I'd suggest. Would that be fair enough?
Yes, yeah. I guess it's just learning, keep continually learning about what I'm capable of, and sort of practicing an environment that allows me to perform under pressure. And for me, that's the biggest gains that I've made over the years, is seeing the shots that need to be hit, then being able to hit that shot without consequence. And for me, that's been a huge learning curve in my career. And once you start to do that and you start to hit those shots, then it just fuels that desire and that passion to keep going, rather than feeling a little bit, I guess, trying to, early in my career I was very conservative, and whether that was through practice or just my own personality, but now it's just full on attack, and I don't stop till the 18th.
No disrespect, Brad, but I don't think we're going to refer to you as a young gun. Is there something about this venue and this style of golf that lends itself to blokes who've been playing the game a bit longer being able to contend and compete? We don't see we tend to see in golf these days, it's mostly the young blokes. Just some thoughts on that.
I think it's just the breeze. Playing in Japan for the last 10 years, it's taught me a lot in terms of course management. The fairways are very generous, and I think for me that's a negative, because I didn't miss a fairway today, but it actually hurts me in terms of Japan courses are really narrow. The fairways are 20 metres wide, where here you've got some that are sort of 50, 60, and it lends itself to hitting poor shots and getting away with it. So it probably doesn't suit me as much, but I just think with my wedge game, my putting game, any course, if I can get those things going, I'll be competitive.
Your resume speaks for itself, but you do still tend to fly under the radar here in Australia. Have you got any thoughts about that? Does that suit you? Does it niggle you? How does that sit with you?
I don't know. It doesn't really bother me too much. It's anyone else can have the hype. I'll just do what I do, and I'm happy to be amongst it at the end. I really just try and let my clubs do the talking, and sometimes there's always the occasion where things can happen and you just feel a bit frustrated, but when you play 20 weeks a year in Japan and only play 4 or 5 events here, it's hard to really get that recognition, I guess, in Australia. But I love coming down here. It's a great tournament, and hopefully it can get bigger and better. And I'm not sure how many years I'll be back here, but I'll be trying as much as I can.
What do you do if you win it? A European Tour card, got a Japan Tour card. Is there a decision there for you to make?
I'll wait in 3 rounds. But no, had that situation at the PGA as well. If I was finished 3rd on the money list, if I had to finish 2nd, I would have gained that exemption as well. And my thoughts weren't really all about exemptions. I'm not sure how many events I've got left. I always told my wife that end of 2020 I was finished, and so that gives me 25 events till my career's over, and we'll see how that pans out. But for me, it's all about being in contention and trying to get as many names as I can on the trophies, and then I'll be able to put the feet up.
Feels like at the start of 2020 that maybe the end of 2020 might have been a bit premature. It's a pretty good start this year.
Yeah, or 19, started off the year with second, and then finished second in Japan, both ends of the year, and started off again nice. But I guess for me, it's nice to be able to come out of the blocks playing how I'm playing, and I think that's just a lot of experience in terms of trying to manage myself on these sort of courses without having to put myself under too much pressure. And then when I can hit those good shots, then I can start to score and move up the leaderboard.
Last one, I promise. You've been playing the game a long time. You get a feel for tournaments and rhythms. You mentioned you wouldn't be surprised if 10 under was leading. What do you expect to unfold over these next 3 days, and what's Brad Kennedy got to do to be there Sunday afternoon?
Well, I hope it's windy. I love the breeze, and especially the beach course. It's just such a fun place to play and gives you all the shots. And for me, that's really the key to golf, is your ability to hit all the shots you need to hit under pressure. So I think I've just got to keep trying to keep attacking without worrying about the lack of practice. But again, I think the courses hopefully gets a little bit warmer from the Gold Coast. It's been freezing the last 2 days, so I haven't had a jump on for 2 months, so it was a bit different this morning coming out at 5 o'clock to get ready. But yeah, I think the same sort of score is going to win. There's a great field, so if I'm there, I'll be trying to knock it down.
Mate, just have less shots than the rest, you'll be fine.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it.